In this Sunday's Gospel, Jesus makes an astonishing claim. He says, "I am the way and the truth and the life." For those who regularly attend church and read the Scriptures, this statement might be quite familiar and even uncontroversial. However, when one really begins to look at it, this claim actually has drastic implications and really serious consequences for some of life's biggest questions. The most disturbing aspect of Christ's claim is precisely where we have heard it before. In ancient times, tyrants used similar language, self-proclaiming themselves as sons of God, in other words, as gods. The way, the truth, and the life that they usually proclaimed usually meant slavery and suffering for different tribes, other nations, and often even their own tribe or nation. Insane asylums and the mouths of cult leaders are also where we hear these words. And perhaps most chillingly, in the totalitarian regimes of the 20th century embraced something of this mantra. Their way of being human was absolute service to the state or to the cause. Their truth was for the good of the motherland or the emancipation of the working class. Their life, many ended in the gulag or the concentration camp. Thus, we have reason to pause when we're considering Christ's words. According to history, these words usually translate to one thing: bad news for humanity. Jesus Christ, however, is the only created being in the universe that can actually rightly say these words and with good results. This is because of who he is. C.S. Lewis once said that Christ could be one of three things: a lunatic, a liar, or Lord, capital L. For multiple reasons, he doesn't seem to be a lunatic or a liar. Therefore, the only logical answer is that he is who he says he is, the Son of God. As the Church's Council of Chalcedon explains, Jesus Christ is perfect both in deity and in humanness, and actually God and actually man. Because he is fully God and fully man, Jesus Christ is the only person who can reveal definitively the truth of existence, the way to be human, and the destiny of life. Christ is the North Star of humanity because he's the only one who remains fixed in the heavens. But how do these considerations actually relate to each of us personally in our lives? Christ is significant for all of humanity, yes, in general, but also for each individual, says the Scriptures. They say he calls his own sheep by name. Still, we could be nervous. Tyrants with absolute perspectives on life tend to be pretty violent to different races, religions, and various personalities. Rather than cope with uniqueness, tyrants tend to whitewash distinction and impose uniformity upon all. But Christ is king, not a tyrant. He has a different approach. He says, "I came that they may have life and have it abundantly." According to St. Thomas Aquinas, God's grace does not destroy nature, or our human nature, but actually it works through and perfects human nature. It works through and perfects human nature. Thus, varying natural gifts and personalities are actually willed in God's plan. The flourishing of each person in their uniqueness is what Christ is after. He weaves all into a tapestry of many colors and shapes. If we sense that his offering is somehow antithetical or against our flourishing, he invites us to dialogue with him in prayer to discover how his way, his truth, and his life are indeed our good. When we accept the universality of Christ, we are embracing the source of our freedom, not a dictatorship.